Hello and welcome to my channel, friends. My name is Lynn, and today I am crafting with this stamp, and there is actually a die set that goes along with it, but I actually won't be using that on my card today. But this is called Winter Birds, and it is by the Stamps of Life. And if you're not familiar with them, they're pretty fabulous. The designer and owner is Stephanie Bernard, and she used to actually design for Sizzix, and she made a lot of like the flip it, fold it cards, interactive cards, really, really fabulous. And now she's, no, I should say for a while now, she has had her own company, The Stamps of Life. And one of the things I really love about their Die Hard Club. They actually have quite a few clubs. There's like a card kit club, there's this club, and several others. So definitely check them out. And one of the things that I really like about this particular one, I actually used to be subscribed for a really long time. And my video today is actually, part of a sponsorship. So the Stamps of Life did send me these products, and I'll be crafting with various other things that they sent me as well. So really excited to kind of dive into everything that I received from them. But what I really love about their stamp and die set, if in this club, is that you have the stamp set, and it's gorgeous. It's what I'm crafting with today. The die set that comes along with it. Here's the thing that I really love about how they design their stamp and dies, because the die set will have an outline die that you can use to cut out the coordinating stamp set, but it will also have standalone dies so that you can actually have a die cut version of the same thing. So in this case, for example, the branches, there's two stamped images of branches, and you have the outline die to cut out the stamped image, but then you also have a die that cuts out those branches, and you get both. And so you can use both of the dies together. You can use the die standalone. You can use the outline coordinating die to die cut out your stamped image. So many different variations for how you can use them and combine them. So really, really lovely. And the same goes for the holly, leaves, and berries, and as well the two large cardinal birds. And so there's an outline die for both of those large images, and as well there's a single die plate that will cut out the birds, and so you can cut it out and then color in those elements, or just add some extra. You can even use the die, instead of die cutting the stamped image, you could actually use the die and deboss with it, and kind of use it as a debossing plate to just add some texture and dimension to your stamped image. So there's a lot that you can do there. And then of course with the stamp and die set that is part of the club, they also release more often than not, and I think it's probably most all the time, add-ons, like additional coordinating stamps, dies, etc., that go with it perfectly. So for example, you have the option of also getting, along with the Winter Birds, which is the Die Hard Club for November, that you can get more Winter Birds, which is a second stamp set featuring two more cardinal birds, just looking in different directions. There's a coordinating die for that. There's also Winter Birds sayings, so that's full of sentiments. And then there's the Winter Wreath Folded, which is awesome, and the poinsettia flower die. So lots of different coordinating items that you can get, and various different ways. If you like the theme of the Die Hard Club, there's more elements that you can get as optional add-ons. So I really love how thoughtful everything is and how they coordinate everything, and it's really pretty fabulous because those things are optional. You can subscribe to the Die Hard Club and make sure that you're getting that every month. And then if you kind of like the theme of it that month, then you can always pick up those extra add-ons and have more things that coordinate with your Die Hard Club. So my card today is I'm doing some coloring. So I not too long ago did an unboxing, a first look, where I swatched out the Posca pencils. I have always known Posca for their acrylic markers. I didn't know that they had their own line of color pencils, and the pencils are actually pretty fabulous. You can get a lot of layering, and you're gonna see me color over this bird so many times. And here's the beautiful thing about it. Towards the end, as I'm looking at the bird, it looks kind of okay the way it is at the moment. But one of the fun things with color pencil is that you can add layers on top of layers. And coloring in general, your coloring comes to life a little bit better when you have a lot of contrast between light and dark. And right now, my bird feels a little bit, it kind of feels a little bit flat. And so one of the things that I do when I feel like I'm done is I kind of like hold it, at arm's length, or I just kind of step back and step away from it and then come back to it and look at, okay, so what does it need? And I felt like I needed more contrast in a lot of different areas. And so that meant adding darker shadows. It meant adding highlights. So there you see I put like a spot of light on the beak. And color pencils are so fabulous because you can color a lighter color on top of what you've already put down, and it's going to show. So it's not it's so different to alcohol marker coloring, where you really can't go over a darker color with a lighter color because alcohol markers are transparent, they're translucent. So whatever is underneath is going to show through. Whereas color pencils have, wax, they have binders, and so they layer on top of each other. And that means that you can come back in and add a lighter color and continue to build up your layers. And if you feel like you went a little bit too dark, well, firstly, you can just take an eraser and erase it, but you can still add and blend lighter colors over top. And so that's what I'm continuing to do, is just evaluating my where my coloring is at, and then seeing, do the shadows need more darkening? Do the highlights need more lightening? And even though it might seem like I'm done, I actually continue to color the bird even more. But I did want to get my sentiment stamped on here, and I stamped it in a white pigment ink that I didn't mind if it was super duper bright white. I just used it because it's a pigment ink, and by stamping in white, because I knew I wanted to white heat emboss, I would be able to tell better if I got a complete stamped impression. And so this card I'm going to keep really, really simple, and I am just going to continue to touch up the coloring. So I wanted to add some snow to the top of the branch, and you can see I've colored white right on top of the craft color cardstock, and it looks just fine. And so as you can kind of see, I just keep going over the same areas over and over again. And it's towards the end here, one of the things that I did that I really liked how it ended up, how it turned out, is I actually used a pink color pencil, And I use that to come back in on my bird and brighten up some areas by adding some pink highlights. And that really helped. So you might, the nice thing about color pencils is because they can layer and because they're opaque, you don't necessarily, it's not just about deepening the shadows. You can come back in and you can add highlights. So this is where I've picked out some areas where, like, maybe the belly, since it's sticking out a little bit, and the top of the head, and maybe along the backs and the top of the wing, for example. Just coming back in and lightening, brightening those areas up, I feel help to add more contrast to the overall image, and I feel like it reads a little bit better. It feels like the bird is a little bit more dimensional. And so I had a lot of fun, and I really like how these Posca pencils performed. I'm not like a super great colorist, and to me that's why I don't always like invest in like the absolute most expensive products. But this one was very affordable, and I feel like it performs really well. I mean, for me being an amateur, just hobby colorist for card making and whatnot, I had a lot of fun with it. And a true artist might think otherwise, but I feel like these were really, really great. I enjoyed coloring with them quite a bit. I hope that you liked my video today, and leave links to everything in the description box below. And until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.